Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here with my next Avatar news update. And this is a huge news update because at long last we have had official communication from Avatar Studios. Finally, another one of the projects has been officially announced. This isn't information that we found somewhere else or from a rumor or some vague source. No. Variety are posting this. We have quotes from Mike and Brian. This is an official announcement timed to work with the anniversary, which is of course happening tomorrow, 20 years of Avatar The Last Airbender. And there's more to it. This headline does not do justice to the amount of information or news that there actually is about stuff outside of the series that's just been announced here. But let's go through this here, because the first thing, of course, the big one, Avatar sequel series Seven Havens, ordered at Nickelodeon, set after Legend of Korra. So this is the first 2D animated series from Avatar Studios. We of course know that they are doing movies, but this is the series that we've had so many rumors about, has been teased. We've basically known it exists for so long. Now, at long last, it's officially 100% confirmed with Mike and Brian commentary. So, unfortunately, still no visuals. There's no logo, there's no poster, no characters. So of course, break out one of the 2 or 3 always used Avatar stock images. That's the only unfortunate part about this, is once again no images to go with Avatar Studio stuff, which is quite frustrating. There's also no date attached to this, though the Instagram says this is coming soon. I wouldn't read into that all that much. Anyway, Nickelodeon building out the world of Avatar. They have green lit Avatar 7 Havens. So just that title by itself is fascinating. We're actually able to use just Avatar 7 Havens. I guess it will always be referred to as that. Like, we can never just say it's the Avatar franchise. We always have to be like, we're referring to Avatar 7 Havens. Never just Avatar. But still, cool. Interestingly, that it's not Avatar Legends 7 Havens, it's not Avatar The Last Airbender 7 Havens or anything like that. They're just allowed to do Avatar 7 Havens. Cool. New 2D animated series consisting of 26 half-hour episodes spread across 2 seasons, Book 1 and 2, in the Avatar style. This will be 13 episodes per season. This is confirmed in other information elsewhere. I think we basically have the full press release, which I'll get to in a second. But yeah, 2D animated series for anyone wondering. If you saw the leaks, you know that that was already confirmed. 26 episodes was already, again, part of the leaks, so we basically knew this to be the case. So now we know the breakdown, 2 seasons. Will they do more? Hard to say, because this is just an initial announcement. Maybe if it does well, there will be room to do more books. But right now, they're confirming 2 seasons. News of the pickup comes as Last Airbender prepares to celebrate its 20th anniversary, because, of course, tomorrow it will mark 20 years of the beginning of Avatar back in February 2005. 7 Havens, of course, comes from Mike and Brian, who are working at Avatar Studios, currently in production. As per the official logline, the series is set in a world shattered by a devastating cataclysm. A young earthbender discovers she's the new Avatar after Korra, but in this dangerous era, that title marks her as humanity's destroyer, not its savior. Hunted by both human and spirit enemies, she and her long-lost twin must uncover their mysterious origins and save the 7 Havens before civilization's last strongholds collapse. So if you've seen the rumors, the leaks, you know that this official description very much matches that. Twins, something has happened to the world. There's a mystery surrounding what exactly happened at the end of Korra's era. They're going to have to work together. The new element of this is, I think this is probably one of the first real mentions, like spirits really being involved with the new series, but that's cool to get. And yeah, they're trying to uncover their mysterious origins. So the twins have a mysterious origin, so that they're straight away what happened at the end of the Korra era that led to their birth, basically. And also, they have to save the 7 Havens, as if they fall, humanity will fall type thing, which is very, very interesting. But we'll come back to that in a second. The quote from Mike and Brian is, when we created the original series, we never imagined we'd still be expanding the world decades later. This new incarnation of the Avatarverse is full of fantasy, mystery, and a whole new cast of amazing characters. Get ready to take another epic and emotional adventure. pretty basic stuff there. I think it's important to note the mystery element, as in if you are leaning into assumptions about things that happened in Korra's era, know that they are probably mysteries and being held back for a reason. As in, if something happened in the Korra era, do you not think we're going to learn the truth whenever the new Avatar talks to Korra, the only Avatar that the new Avatar is going to be able to talk to? I think that's pretty obvious. Then we go into this, so they're the co-creators and executive producers on Avatar 7 Havens. Ethan Spalding is the executive producer, and Sahaj Sethi is the co-executive producer. For 2 decades, the richly crafted world of Avatar The Last Airbender has introduced audiences to a world of compelling characters and groundbreaking storylines, captivating fans globally, said Ramsey Naito, president of Paramount Animation and Nickelodeon Animation. We can't wait to embark on the next chapter of this epic saga with a new story set within the Avatarverse envisioned by the original creators, Mike and Brian. So it's nice to have that there, one of the high-ups at Paramount, confident in Avatar. That's nice to see. This will be the 3rd series after Avatar and Korra, of course. They do mention here the animated film is coming out January 2026. We'll cover that more in a second, but okay, right now that's the official information. Will there be a delay? We'll see as we go forward, but right now I think we have to commit to the idea of officially, January 30th is still the release date, and we'll go with that. Note also, no mention of Dante Bosco. That has not been confirmed that he is coming back for the movie. We just don't know yet. So that's important to note. They note the Netflix show, of course. And then, in celebration of the 20th anniversary, Paramount is rolling out a massive amount of new Avatar content, including digital shorts, live experiences, consumer products, and games. They leave it at that. But what the details of this are is super interesting if you care about the other stuff. So I'll cover this in a second, but let's quickly cover the fact that this has been immediately posted about on the Instagram. So you can see here, Avatar 7 Havens. It's not a new logo, it's just them highlighting it. They say coming soon, but I actually don't think that really means anything, because as far as we're aware, this is the 2nd project. This will be coming out at some point after the movie, which is January 2026. So at the very least, this is like a year on. And straight away, coming soon is not a year. It just isn't. I don't care what interpretation you have on that. I don't think it's coming out at any point in the next 6 months. And so it's definitely, I think, Project 2 as far as we're aware. And then they have the description here, which is quite interesting. So one thing I'll just highlight from this, because again, I think in terms of my coverage of the leaks and stuff like that, I've covered probably most of the thoughts that I have on this, is that what's interesting about it is that it's hard to tell which twin is being talked about. A young earthbender discovers she's the new Avatar. She and her long-lost twin must uncover their mysterious origins. Is like, which is the case? I think the idea is that Nisha probably grows up knowing she's the Avatar, or she's told she is the Avatar. That's the idea there. So I think the idea is that this is Pavi as the character who sort of sets the plot into motion. She, by virtue of basically coming into contact with her sister, discovers that actually maybe she's the Avatar, or whatever way that's all going to go down. And that's how the series progresses. That's the kind of whole idea here. So that's super interesting. It's also kind of just interesting by itself. No names, characters really kind of thrown out there, but they do note the Avatar has a twin, which is quite interesting. Hunted by human and spirit enemies because the Avatar is viewed as being kind of responsible for what happened in the past. Look, again, I'll quickly cover this. I understand why Korra fans might feel that this is something very challenging to kind of deal with, that Korra is likely going to get a lot of hate for this and stuff like that. But again, I think the whole point of this is that they're setting this up to get a proper explanation. That part of the mystery of the series will be to explore what actually happened. Like, they seem to be going with the idea that the Avatar quote-unquote caused the cataclysm, but why? Korra would not just destroy the world for no reason. So was the world about to be destroyed and she just did it beforehand in a way that actually gave people a chance? We just simply don't know a lot of those questions, and those are the questions you need to be asking before you jump to conclusions about how Mike and Brian hate Korra. You're saying that in a show that very clearly is going to reference and acknowledge Korra quite heavily. Again, I highlight when the new Avatar talks to this, to Korra, some truth, I think, is going to be revealed. And I think that's just a fact of it. Also, on the Instagram, they do have this video post that has Dante and Janet from the Braving the Elements podcast talking about this. They don't really reveal anything new. There's a fun joke of as Janet reads the description and is like, "Oh, what did the past Avatar do?" which I think is quite good. They also basically confirmed that Braving the Elements season 4 is confirmed, that they will be doing Korra, but there's no release date. In the same way there's no release date for Seven Havens, there's no release date for this. And actually quite a few of the announcements don't really have release dates, as we'll get into here, but that's just worth noting there. Animation Magazine seemed to have actually just released what I think is mostly just the press release that the big articles are going to be based on. So there's a lot more information in this. So a lot of the same quotes. We have the same synopsis description here. You'll note here the mention that book 1 is 13 half-hour episodes, book 2 is 13 half-hour episodes. My guess is that actually means like 22-minute episodes, but with ad break times. Who knows? Maybe it is built more for streaming, and maybe they are longer episodes, and that's how we kind of get to that point. But we have to wait and see what the exact situation on that. But I think from a marketing perspective, they usually always lead with the idea that 22-minute episodes are half-hour episodes, because I assume they're still going to air on Nickelodeon somewhere, somehow, so they're probably constructed in that way, roughly. The series' new premiere date and casting will be announced at a later date. So that wasn't mentioned in the Variety article either, so just be aware of that. Previously announced is the untitled Avatar Aang film, January 30th. Voice cast, yeah, that's the same. Then they highlight the anniversary, of course, and we actually get into that. Highlights of the anniversary include, and we'll get into that in a second. Avatar Last Airbender has been a fixture, a spin-off series with Legend of Korra, several best-selling book series, live orchestra, and upcoming theatrical film, of course. So, yeah, highlights of the anniversary. YouTube, the newly rebranded Avatar Legends channel, of course. The Avatar Chibi's Mini is going to be 10 episodes, 2D animated chibi-style stories based on classic scenes from Avatar The Last Airbender and humorous spin-off comics. I'm a little bit unclear on what exactly they mean by that. So, like, is this new content or not? It says they're 2D animated. They're chibi-style. But are they just going to be, like, recaps? Or are they just going to have very crazy chibi-style versions of things happening? Where, like, the plot goes off in a crazy different direction and it will borderline be Avatar What If? Not really sure. Humorous spin-off comics, does that mean, like, they're basing this on stuff from the comics, or some of this stuff will be in a comic format? I'm a little bit unclear. There'll also be a YouTube series about Untitled Avatar gameplay series, which will use the Avatar Legends Battlegrounds, which is the Roblox game that's coming out, to do reenactments of stuff. That doesn't sound super interesting to me, but it's something else to use the YouTube channel for. That, hey, they're finally doing kind of, I think, what we wanted them to do with the YouTube channel, and put out some interesting content. I think everyone will be sort of interested in this whenever it happens. Not so sure about this, though. The newly branded Avatar Legends channel. Tuned in fans of the franchise with content spanning generations of avatars past and those to come. That is exciting that they're leaning more into that. So there's the Braving the Elements podcast, which is greenlit for season 4, which will be 30 episodes. They do seem to highlight that news will be a part of it now as well, which I wouldn't have really said before. So hopefully that makes the podcast a little bit more of an enticing thing to listen to. Production is underway, and they haven't yet announced the full details of it yet. Avatar Book 2 Earth, music from the animated series. So I was expecting this to maybe be part of the announcements, and yes, it is. No details, but finally, like, direct confirmation. This is the title of it, not that it's anything particularly new. More information is coming soon on the release date, so they're just going to wait on that, but they're confirming finally more directly that it is actually happening. Location-based experiences, Avatar concert, we already know about it. More dates to be announced is sort of the new aspect, but I think that's been up there on the website the whole time. San Diego Comic-Con. Nickelodeon will honor Avatar through immersive fan experiences, exclusive consumer products, and giveaways to be announced in the coming months. I'm assuming they're just maybe hesitating to talk about a big panel with news but that when they do detail what's actually happening, if they have all this extra stuff happening, I assume there has to be something big happening as well. And then at the Mall of America, there's going to be a special celebration where you can do airbrush tattoos and get photos taken with Aang. Okay, consumer products and gaming. Toys. All new toy line will be launching this year from Jazzwares. More details will be announced soon. It's nice to get a more up-to-date confirmation that it's still happening this year, which is very good. Publishing. There is actually some new stuff here. Now, if you're not up to date, a lot of this stuff might be new, but if you followed my videos over the last few days, even just from earlier today, some of this stuff you'll know exactly what it means. New publishing activity in 2025 includes the launch of a brand new middle grade chapter series from Random House, which we covered earlier today. That is the Bending Academy chapter book number 1, the first story of which will focus on a regional firebending tournament that a kid is going to enter with his friends. They're 11 years old or so, and they're going to go up against the teenagers in this competition. Sounds like a very fun kids novel. Very excited to get more details on that. A new YA series from Abrams, which, again, also big news from the last few days. That is Avatar Legends City of Echoes, the first book in the Avatar Legends series, a new novel series about the unsung heroes of the world of Avatar. The first book, as you can see here, is about Jin, the character Jin, who Zuko went on a date with in the Tales of Ba Sing Se. So there'll be more novels with that, and the first one is out this year. And then this is new. In terms of new stuff, new comic miniseries from Dark Horse. I've not seen anything about this. I don't think there's any listing about this at all. I don't know what this means. Because this goes against, I think, a lot of what we know the comics to be. We've had trilogies of comics, 72-page comics, and it's part 1, part 2, part 3. We now have that exact same format, but they're one-shot comics. Now we're getting comic miniseries, which I would usually associate as being like single issue comics that run for maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 issues, but we've never really done single issues for Avatar comics. So are we going to get different formats here? Is this a move in that direction? Or maybe shorter books that are maybe like 30-40 pages that do release and it's like a mini series? Hard to know. This one's kind of exciting because I think we sort of have a sense for what this is. A new illustrated hardcover from Dark Horse. Surely this has to be Beasts of the Four Nations, because it's probably too early for 2025 to announce any sort of art book for any new project, and the only thing that makes sense is Beasts of the Four Nations, which we do know is still being worked on. So it's finally going to happen, I guess, maybe. Cookbook from Inside Editions, again, that was announced somewhat recently. This is the Avatar official baking book. Not too exciting, but hey, it's something else. Adult activity book, Thunder Bay. I don't know what this is. I think this is the first mention of this, but obviously it's going to be like, I guess, a kind of puzzle style book, but more leaning towards adults, which could actually be quite interesting depending on what they do. Plus new installments in the ongoing graphic novel series from Dark Horse and much more. So the ongoing graphic novel series would be Avatar Korra one-shots, which, yeah, we're expecting one-shot number 2 after the Mako comic and one-shot number 7 for Avatar after Ashes of the Academy. All those books, of course, are coming out in March, so we're really quickly wanting to move on to know what's next. So hopefully announcements on that stuff happen soon. It's cool though. It means that Dark Horse, I guess, have at least 4 books to be announced: a mini series, a new hardcover, and an Avatar and a Korra comic in the ongoing series. Plus, this activity book is something we don't actually know about. Box Lunch has a 6-piece collection featuring stuff for avatars, nation-inspired jerseys, Sky Bison Appa inspired infant stuff, which is kind of interesting at Box Lunch. Avatar Legends Battlegrounds is the Roblox game, which is coming soon, and then Realms Collide is the mobile game, which again is also coming soon. I'm not sure exactly when it's coming, but it's eventually coming. Exciting stuff. I understand why Variety didn't go in depth on this, but I do think a lot of people won't see a lot of this stuff. because Variety didn't really go into detail on this. But there's some pretty big things in here. I would definitely highlight the 2 Dark Horse kind of half announcements here as being notable. The activity book, the chibi stuff from the extra content is probably the most interesting. And then also sort of direct confirmation on the book 2 soundtrack is exciting. And the fact that they've done this the day before the anniversary makes me believe there probably will be some of this stuff maybe actually announced properly tomorrow. Because there is still the chance for the Avatar The Last Airbender Magic set, if it is in fact going to be a thing, as the rumors may be suggesting. Magic has their own preview panel tomorrow on the anniversary. And the next set that basically hasn't been announced is the one that's rumored to be Avatar. So they say they have surprises. There's a massive Avatar thing here going on for the anniversary, as we've seen. Maybe. But we'll have to wait and see. They didn't mention it here, of course, but I don't think they're going to spoil something like that. That's a super crossover thing where that's going to be more of a Magic announcement than an Avatar one, but it will mean a lot to Avatar fans if it does actually happen. So, exciting stuff. I'm assuming bits and pieces more will probably come out as this kind of spreads around and we see what exactly has and hasn't been said. But I do think across the Variety article and then this animation magazine article, which I think is mostly the press release, we've got all the information out. I'll just highlight at the end here, I will be doing a live stream on Sunday. It's already scheduled up on my channel. I just have to change the title and thumbnail a little bit to highlight that we've got even extra news. But I was already planning a live stream, and now for sure we have a lot to talk about. Official announcement of the series, plus a lot of other publishing announcements that have happened already, plus potentially on the way. Finally, it feels like stuff is happening for Avatar. It's just about now, I think, when are the first visual stuff going to happen? When's this? Is this going to be the start of continuous announcements, or are we going to be left waiting for the next couple of months? There's a need for follow-up now, but I hope this has opened the door to news in a big way, because I went from being kind of pretty down going into the anniversary to now like, no, actually they're doing it. They're actually doing it. I think it was a flip of a coin 50-50 if they were actually going to make a big deal of the anniversary, and they have. Way more than I expected them to, so I'm very happy. 2 thumbs up from me. But let me know in the comments what your initial thoughts are on a lot of this information. Series 7 Havens confirmed, with basically all the information presented so far matching the leaks. And then a lot of other extra stuff like teased when it comes to just Paramount doing basically marketing stuff to get Avatar back in people's heads. And the big takeaway from a lot of that stuff is probably that it's stuff that's happening this year. It's not that they're waiting to 2026 when the stuff's actually coming out to make it happen. They're doing stuff this year to celebrate the anniversary, which is required to set the stage properly for next year. So I'll leave you with that. Let me know your thoughts below, but that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.